It's Mom and Pop Video Shop.
Welcome to Mom and Pop Video Shop. I am Joel.
And I'm still just Tyson.
Oh, he's not just Tyson.
I hope it's enough.
It is. We are here with a weekly movie recommendation or a weekend rental pick, depending on when this episode's coming out, if it's a Monday or Friday. I don't know yet as we record this. But we're close enough to my birthday in January.
Happy birthday.
I don't know when my birthday even falls this month. But
it's weird because I haven't got you anything yet. But by the time this rolls, who knows?
Who knows?
I still haven't got you anything yet.
I'm not quite 50 yet. I'm in that last year of the 40s.
All right.
So I'll enjoy it while it lasts. Because it's all going to hell a year later. But, all that being said, my birthday month pick. I'd be curious I have no idea how he's going to react to this movie. And this is one of those movies I feel like people either love it or they kind of hate it. I don't get the hate because I freaking love it.
I kind of hate it.
I do too, actually.
We haven't done one of those yet.
You know, and people are like, oh, those shows who love everything. I love that we've done shilling. A couple minutes, we're shilling for movies that are 30 years old. No, believe me, we'll hit something that we hate one way or the other. That's why we try not to tell each other so that it's a surprise. But to be fair, we usually pick movies we love, and thus, we'll see.
Give me a hint.
Okay, 2004.
God.
Yeah, huh? See,
isn't it funny too? Like 2004, I'm like, that's way too new for me.
I would say it's a comedy. You could almost call it an absurdist comedy.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of a line that I could give you that wouldn't just immediately give it away.
Do I get an actor? Or is that too easy too?
John Grice or Grease or however you pronounce it.
Oh,
Michael Biehn and
Napoleon Dynamite.
Bro, it's totally Napoleon Dynamite. Now, I have no idea how Tyson feels about it. I'm going to tell you up front, I love this movie in like an unhealthy kind of way.
I don't hate it. I guess I'm the unicorn here because I don't hate it, but I don't love it.
Okay.
I mean, I liked it.
Okay.
It was funny.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it forever.
Okay. It's still great.
Yeah, I mean,
are you like afraid to say how you really feel?
I don't think it's great. It's good.
A guy who's been through war, I'm like, oh, what are you afraid to say? You're afraid to say whether you hate this movie?
Hey, it's a good movie. It's funny.
Yeah. Yes, it's not just funny. It's a classic.
It's big hat. It's funny.
Napoleon Dynamite is a new kind of hero, complete with a tight fro, sweet moon boots, and skills that can't be topped. Napoleon spends his days drawing mythical beasts, duking it out with his brother Kip, and avoiding his scheming Uncle Rico. When two new friends enter Napoleon's life, Shy Deb and Mustachioed Pedro, the trio launches a campaign to elect Pedro for class president and make the student body's wildest dreams come true. But if Pedro is to beat Stuck-Up Summer, Napoleon will have to unleash his secret weapon, which sounds far more nefarious and dark than it was what's actually in this movie. So I remember when this movie came out, I was actually a teacher at that point. By 2004, I left college and I went back, and I'm like in my mid to late 20s. I graduated. That was I think it was actually my first year as a real teacher because I had been a substitute, and I had the poster up on my wall in my classroom.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I just loved it. You know, certain movies just hit you, and you can't even explain why. I think because it was so weird and quirky and different, and I had literally never seen anything like it, yet it felt very familiar. Like, what I love about this movie is it does what House of the Devil does, the Ty West movie, in that, it could be put that aside. I love that movie, but that one doesn't bother me if you didn't like it. If you said you didn't like this one, we might have a problem. But what I mean is, it feels like it takes place in 1983, but maybe it doesn't. Like
maybe it does.
But maybe it does.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what this movie's. This movie could be 1982, but because they make references. But the I remember like the pictures, the portraits they have on the walls in the background, where it's the classic like black background where it's like you see their profile and then it's like overlaid with like the front. But I remember going into people's houses as a kid, and 100%. Those were pervasive. And it's some subtle little details.
The moon boots,
just the way he draws, just everything about it.
Uncle Rico's wardrobe. Uncle Rico's wardrobe was like 80.
Yeah, like 19, right? Or late 70s even. But that's the other thing you get right. In the 80s. you still had a lot of stuff being left over from like the 60s and 70s. You know what I mean? There was still that cultural stuff was bleeding into the decade. So I think the problem is a lot of people do the 80s now. Everybody always has like huge ball hair and they're like in like, you know, big loud clothes and everything's neon. It's like, yeah, that started about 87-ish.
Yeah.
And that bled into like the early 90s. But technically, in my mind, when I think of the 80s, a lot of stuff like going to people's houses, like the decor. You go to your grandma's house, her house didn't look like the 80s. Her house looked like 1968.
Well, I was going to say, if we're talking about like postmodern, I feel like in my mind, 80s is Stranger Things, not 16 Candles and Breakfast Club. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they get that. Like, the low-hanging fruit if you're going to build an 80s costume, again, is the pinks and the big hair and the stuff. You know, it's not the striped, T-shirts.
Lots of like you think of like neon colors,
original red Nikes,
but like oranges and browns and like that. Because again, that was a very 70s
wood
color palette. Yeah, but it bled into, and I think this movie gets that right. So, all of that to be said. It's quirky, it's weird. I totally get people there are people just, I know some people that hate this movie. They think it's just stupid. I do not. And I don't know, you know, I know that Jared and Jerusa, I'm doing great with words today, has the husband and wife team that wrote the movie and directed the movie. I know they brought a lot of their own like personal stuff because I think it takes place in Idaho. I think they're from Utah, and I think there's like a Mormon influence, and like I
get that.
Yeah, and like for instance, I remember a commentary where we talked about like the reason why they had everybody say flippin' is because when you were raised in a more of a religious kind of family, you're not supposed to be dropping F-bombs, but you were allowed to say flippin', right? So. And that adds to the charm to me. Like, it feels so unique. I think the thing, and I know it was a short film before it was a feature, and I guess they did have a bit of a proof of concept because I think that short film had done pretty well at film festivals or whatnot. But it's such a unique vision and weird in like all the right ways that every time I watch it, I'm always struck by I'll call it bravery. I feel
it just feels like an underdog movie.
Yeah, it's totally an underdog movie. Yeah, totally an underdog movie. But it's like the creative courage. Bravery is not the right word. Creative courage to just go with your vision, because there is no way as you're making this movie.
Yeah.
And you're having Kip talking about, don't be jealous, Napoleon. We both know I'm training to be a cage fighter. Come on down, Napoleon. Hit me. See if you can hit me. And just, it's like, or Rex Kwon Do, bow to your sensei. By the way, the commercial for Rex Kwon Do never doesn't make me laugh. And I know that's a double negative, don't care.
Like, talking about underdog and taking a chance, I feel like the actor who played Pedro, I just heard this recently. Yes. His story that he was fired by his agent.
Yeah. He was up for 2 movies. This one, which he had no idea what the heck it was. He had only read a couple, like I think he had read the speech the president, when he's doing the speech in front of the student body to be student president, about make your wildest dreams come true. He did that scene, so he knew nothing about it, and he was up for the Alamo, which had like Billy Bob Thornton at the time, who was a huge star. I think Jason Patrick was it Jason Patrick in that one? There were several major stars. It was a big studio movie, had like a huge budget. This is a like super low budget indie film, and he said he went home to his dad. And his dad told him he didn't know what to do. His dad said, follow your heart, which is exactly what Napoleon says to Pedro right before he goes out. And he said, I had to do it. And then he goes and tells his agents, they're like, okay, well, come on down, get your contract or whatever. And when he did, they then presumed, he said they handed him like his headshots, his reel, like everything. And they're like, yeah, we can't represent people who make basically bad choices. And we need people who are going to make the right choice. Funnily enough, huge hit. Alamo bomb. Right. So, hey, who's laughing now, bro?
Alamo, I'm like, wasn't that a John Wayne flick?
No. And by the way, the actor, I want to make sure, it's Efren Ramirez. That's it. Efren, yeah. I just want to call him Pedro because he's basically Pedro. I love him. Pedro's fantastic. And just Pedro, what's so great too is they keep all of Pedro's cultural stuff, but it never feels like a caricature.
No.
Like it never, that's the thing is this is my whole argument I make over and over again. I just wish, and I think it's starting to happen. I feel like I'm seeing more and more movies where this happens, where the people behind the movie love these characters, they respect these characters, and it comes through in the writing and in just and the actors do. And so, yes, it'd be so easy to make fun of Napoleon. He's such a goof, but yet you get, I don't know, you don't feel that. You don't feel that from behind the scenes that they're making fun of him. You don't feel like they're mocking Pedro. Even Pedro's cousins who roll up, Like remember the whole Pedro offers you his protection, and that one dude gets the crap beat out of him, and they give me your bike, and then they roll up in the car, and they're like, nope, and the guy's like, and he runs. It's just little touches like that. It's just so sweet, and I'm sorry, dude. And first of all, I love the music. The dance scene and the final scene. Like those are, oh God, on that one. Some say love. And by the way, I also gotta say this. This is gonna be one of those 20-minute episodes. The guy, the blonde, like jock, who could have just like, yeah. He's like just the faces he's making. It's like, and it's subtle, right?
Summer's boyfriend.
No, Summer's boyfriend. Yeah, he's like. It's like he doesn't call him names. He doesn't do the typical bullying thing. It's just, in a weird way, Napoleon does more bullying type stuff than even that guy does. Like he's like, can I have one of Summer's buttons? And he gives it to him, and he chucks it down the hall, and it runs off. It's just so weird and goofy, and just, it's like they just swung for the fences and didn't give a crap. Yeah. And I respect the hell out of that. Dude, Napoleon Dynamite, let me know in the comments. If you hate it, please just don't break my heart, okay? I'm sorry for you. If you don't get this.
It's a good pick.
Yeah. So, like Napoleon Dynamite, let us know in the comments. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe again. Those of you that have stuck with us, that have helped us grow, we appreciate you. We love you. We see you.
You're like our Flintstone vitamins.
Yes, you're like our Pedro. You're making all our wildest dreams come true. On that note, remember, at Mom and Pop's, our love of...
I had a couple that I could have picked, but I think I'm going to go with Clerks.
Interesting choice, and it never stops.
Mom and Pop's Video Show.